Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on Hunter's Exotics. Without giving too much information away at the beginning of this video, I do want to say that this is a really fun one. And if you like videos like these, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more of my content. Starting when I was really young, I had an obsession with reptiles. I used to go try to find any insects or reptiles I could find outside. I've always loved looking at them and taking care of them. In my life, I have had so many different reptiles, but there's just one that I've never had. And it's the Indonesian blue-tongued skink. This is one of my all-time favorite reptiles. I've absolutely loved holding him. I have no idea if it's a boy or not. I have not sexed him. I could pretty easily, but I'm just trying to give him some space before I mess with his cloaca. But if you guys would like to name this guy, he is totally up for grabs. Go ahead and name him in the comment section below. So if you're in the hobby, you might know that these guys are rather expensive. Some going for up to $500. You might find them as cheap as $250. It just kind of depends. Blue-tongued skinks are considered by many one of the best pet reptiles, mainly because of their size, their hardiness, and just because of the cool factor. I mean, come on, look at this guy. How could you not love him? He's a dinosaur. A dinosaur. You can kind of get a good look of his length right here. He's just massive. They're actually incredibly smart reptiles too, so you can get a good bond going with these guys. He is doing some weird stuff right now in between both of my hands. Here's an even better look at his length. Now, like many, I would have already owned this guy like 10 years ago if I could. But just because of the price of these guys, I have not been able to afford one for the longest time. However, because of Black Friday, apparently reptiles are on sale too. I got this guy and this whole 40-gallon breeder for less than $500. In fact, I think the total after this build comes to more like $400. There's a lot of things that I can sell that I got out of this kit, and there's a lot of things that I didn't use that I thought I would use. So if you guys are interested in a cheap and effective budget build for one of these beautiful, beautiful guys, then definitely stay tuned and watch this video. And don't forget to leave this guy a name, but it's got to be something awesome. I mean, he's a dragon, so it's got to be cool. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the build. Clap, clap, clap. Alrighty, what's up guys? This is my building time. Yeah. Alright. So I know I said this video was a budget video, and I really wasn't lying about this. I'm going to go over the receipt with you guys and show you exactly what I spent on this build. So on the bearded dragon enclosure, as you guys can see, it ended up being $137. Now, if you guys can see up here, it's originally almost $300, which would cut our budget almost in half. I got a UVB tropical bulb. This is my 5.0 for $10. Now, this kit does come with some bulbs, and this Power Sun is actually very, very good, but this is way too overpowered for this kit. It is completely too high of a wattage for it to properly give the right thermals for a blue-tongued skink and also a bearded dragon. I don't know why this is sold with this. I guess it would be okay if it was paired with a hanging lamp, but it's not, so I'm not really too sure. I also got a basking bulb. It ended up being $15. I got a couple pieces of Mopani driftwood for $17.99, $11.99, and I believe the other one was $17.99 as well. I also got 2 bags of Repti soil. Each price is $39.99, so it ended up being almost $80 for that. I got 48 quartz in total. I believe that's all I will need for this. If I do need some more, I'll just end up adding some eco earth to this. And then finally, I got the blue-tongued skink for $149.99. That is insane. That's the cheapest I've ever seen. It was 50% off of $300. So now let's go over the kit. So as you can see, it came with a deep dome lighting fixture, which I probably will use in this. If not, I do have I think it's called a T5. It's a little bit of a longer UVB strip. This is normally $40. Like I said, that Power Sun UV bulb, which is normally $100, some sand, some rocks, gauges, and some other miscellaneous stuff that I won't use for this build, including the sand. But overall, for $137, this is the absolute cheapest you can get any of this stuff. The 40-gallon breeder was on sale, half off, for I believe $65 at Petco. The lid itself cost $35. Like I said, the deep dome would be $40. So I would end up spending more money building this separately than just buying this kit on sale. So overall, very good purchase. I think let's crack open into it and try to see what we can do. This was a total pain getting inside of my Corolla, by the way. It did not belong in there, but I actually managed to get it. Okay, I actually didn't know that the lid just slid off like that. That is actually super kind of convenient. I like that. That way you don't have to worry about the stupid metal locks on the top. This is very nice. This is a very good lid design. By the way, like I said, this is not a bearded dragon enclosure. In fact, I would argue against everything here. There's probably only a few things that I would ever use out of this. Maybe this dome and maybe this light. Like I said, if I had that little lamp fixture, that would be okay, but I wouldn't use anything in here. So don't take this advice for a bearded dragon. This is not meant for a bearded dragon, although it says it is. Most sand can very severely impact your reptile and possibly kill it. So I wouldn't recommend using a lot of sand, and if you do use sand, you can kind of mix it in with some other substrate, and that's okay. For bearded dragons, I would probably use tile. That seems to be a very easy and quick thing to clean. You could also do a carpet, although I hate those, and cleaning up after a bearded dragon can be kind of a nightmare. But overall, if you ask me what I do, I would just make it completely bioactive. You can use all sorts of different things. Eco Earth, Repti Soil, really whatever you can imagine you can use with the bearded dragon. Don't let these people fool you into thinking you have to use sand or carpet or tile. It doesn't really matter. You can use all sorts of different things. When I built a bioactive enclosure for a bearded dragon for a client of mine a few years back, I did use sphagnum moss and Eco Earth. So keep that in mind. I think I'm actually going to sell this bulb because it's so expensive and I can't imagine a single time where I'd use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell this, I think. Thermometer and humidity gauge. This is always nice to have. Definitely worth hanging on to. A nocturnal infrared heat lamp. Most reptiles don't need this, but definitely look into your reptile of choice if you do plan on using these. Repti sand, again, I hate this stuff. Some people like it. Not my cup of tea. Repti rock. This is actually a pretty good deal. I'm so glad that these are included because for some reason these are expensive. And there's a food tray and a water bowl, so that's very convenient. So this comes with some stuff that some people might use. I know the Repti calcium, that's very nice. Tropical fruit mix-ins and some other stuff. I don't know. This is cool. I'm glad that they included it, especially the calcium. That is very good for a newbie. If like a new person decided that they were just going to get this for their bearded dragon. Overall, would I recommend it? No. I would definitely change out the light. However, there's some good stuff in this kit. Like, I don't think the bearded dragon would just die instantly, like some kits. And of course, the dome. I'm excited. So without further ado, I think we can start prepping this tank and getting it ready for the next step. Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. Love that. Okay, so now that we just have the bare tank, there's a few things that we're gonna have to fix up. I'm seeing some silicone sludge right there, which is always annoying, but hey, it's good to know that they use too much silicone than not enough. The sticker residue, which I think I can just take some alcohol to. It's on the outside of the tank, thankfully, so not too big of a deal. And then I guess we can start. Alrighty, so now that it's mostly prepped, I think we can go ahead and start this build. I'm super excited. It's not going to be a very intricate or detailed build just because of the budget that we're using. However, you can do a lot of cool stuff, even if you just added $25, $30 more. I'm going to show you the way that I think I'm going to do it, but feel free to do this part however you want to, add whatever decorations you want. I personally don't use plastic in any of my tanks just because I hate it. However, if you do want to do some plastic decorations, feel free. This is a fan favorite on the show, Repti Soil. I love it. In my opinion, it's a lot better than Eco Earth. It holds humidity just a little bit better. It's overall just cleaner and looks better. I love the way it looks. Now let's make a mess. So as you can see, after emptying this out, one bag would have sufficed. I was not sure. I looked it up. Some people said 128 quarts. I was thinking, okay, maybe 48 quarts would be good just because I didn't want super deep substrate, but just get one bag, at least for a 40. A lot of times what will happen in this Repti soil is there will be rocks and different pieces of wood, which is actually very good for the isopods that will eventually be in here. But in this tank, I'll probably just throw these little things away if I see them on top. I'm not going to go through and filter out all this stuff. I just don't want any impaction, and I'm just kind of concerned about these rocks maybe causing an issue because they are medium size. Like they could do some damage. This is the first and in my opinion best looking piece of driftwood I got today. It's kind of got like a cool natural tilt to it. So I think I'm going to use this as a basking area. I think I'm going to position the lighting so that he can kind of put his whole body up here. I also got this larger piece. It kind of looks like a tree stump, so I went ahead and got this one. I really like the way this looks too. And finally, just a little smaller piece. So this is kind of what it's looking like right now. I like the way it looks. It's definitely missing a few things, but I think after we get this all set up, it's going to turn out beautiful. And another thing that I'm just going to add is a little tree bark hide. I'm actually not a huge fan of these. I just think they're way too circular. I could probably take like maybe my multi-tool or something and kind of mess with it a little bit more, but honestly, the benefits that he'll get from that are way more important than the way it looks, just in my opinion, on that specifically. What I would do if this was more of an arboreal reptile, I would have this side raised up so it kind of slopes down. In my opinion, that would be super cool looking. However, the blue-tongued skink is super terrestrial, so it really needs this horizontal space. Although I don't love this, I'm gonna mess with the layout a little bit more and see kind of how it looks. So I think this is the layout I'm gonna choose. I think this layout provides enough terrestrial land while also keeping a somewhat natural look. It's kind of hard to do, and especially because this is such a destructive reptile, we kind of just have to do what we can in this situation. But I'm not mad at it. I think let's get the food and water bowl in there and just see how it looks. I actually kind of doubt I'm going to use this. I didn't realize it was this big. It's a very good sized food bowl, but I probably just won't use something this big. I feed all of my reptiles dubia roaches, and honestly, those are live feeds and I just use tongs. This would be cool for some greens, I guess. If this was a 60 breeder, I would guaranteed use this, but because of the size, I would probably stay away from this for now. But this is a good thing to have just in case. All right, so let's go ahead and get the lights on here and just see how it looks. So before I turn these on, we're obviously gonna use the right bulbs. This is what I chose. I wanted to do a 75 watt just in case he decided that he didn't want to be hot all the time. And of course, you can never go wrong with the ReptiSun 5.0. So we're gonna put UVB on this side, and we're going to put the UVA on this side. Okay, so this kind of turned out okay. I don't mind it. For a budget option, is it bad? No. For an enthusiast, I would probably add a lot more to this enclosure. But overall, I am actually extremely happy, so I think it's time to add in the skink. So here is the little guy. He is so cute. He looks pretty interested in the camera. Like I said, he is already pretty long. I would already say he's probably about 1.5 feet, maybe even bigger. But without further ado, let's go ahead and add him in there. Look at this monster in here, making this 40-gallon look small. What do you say? You ready to go home? Ready to go in your enclosure and go to sleep for a while? Warm up? There are a couple fun facts I'd like to include in this video. There wasn't a great place to put these in, so I hope you don't mind me saying them now. Some scientists believe that the blue-tongued skink puffs its head to resemble a death adder, which, in my opinion, just looking at them, it is actually very similar. If you saw one of these guys under a rock or something and it was just its head, you might reconsider putting your hand down that hole. Another interesting thing is that they can drop their tail and regrow it. Not like the first original tail, but they certainly can, similar to a leopard gecko. And another thing is, and I don't know how to pronounce this term, but I'll put it somewhere up here. They actually have live birth, sort of. Their eggs hatch inside of them, and then the birthing process naturally occurs. So they do have eggs, but rather than laying them, they actually hatch inside of the skink, and then they come out live. Very interesting. Not a lot of reptiles do that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means a lot that you made it this far. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, then please don't forget to support me in one of those ways. Alrighty guys, well, thank you for watching this far, and have a good day. Kiss the camera goodnight. Kiss the camera. Kiss the camera.